is the holiday season. The holiday season is upon us, okay? So it has some of these people asking, did they ruin Christmas? This is Am I the A-hole? Christmas edition. Hydration station. I got my lemon water. Drink whatever you want, but I will encourage water. It is good for you, okay? Cheers. Ding! I love that I made the sound effect. Ding! Not quite. Hope you're having a good day. Am I the a-hole for using some of my kids' Christmas money for Christmas dinner? Well, Reddit has determined you are the a-hole, but results will be at the end. I, 42 male, was hoping this issue would blow over. But my kids, 15 female and 12 male, are still refusing to speak to me, and my daughter suggested I post about it here. My wife, 41, comes from a lot of money and her family really hates me because I'm not rich like them. Oh, but my wife doesn't care and loves me anyway. Well, I would hope so. Every Christmas, they'll send her and my kids extravagant gifts, while I get a pair of socks from Walmart. But it's whatever. I love Walmart socks. I lost my job due to the pandemic. My wife is a stay-at-home mom and was really worried we wouldn't be able to have Christmas this year. Next thing I know, my kids are sent Christmas cards with $250 cash in each. This is way more money than either of them needs, so I took $100 from each of them and used it to buy a nice Christmas dinner. My kids tooted? And complained the whole meal, and they didn't even seem interested in opening the gifts my wife and I got for them. We told them to stop being ungrateful, and my daughter jumped up and yelled that she didn't want to eat dinner with us, and my son followed her upstairs. My wife and I believe what we did was justified, but because my daughter suggested I post it here, I thought, why not? Do you guys think I was an a-hole in this situation? For further clarity, I've never done anything like this and definitely would not have done if I had a job. Am I the a-hole? Y'all, I don't think they're an a-hole. Now hear me out, I'm not a parent, so I would love to hear from moms and dads out there. I get why the kids are upset. However, you're the parents, you pay for everything, stay-at-home mom, lost a job because of the pandemic, you know, money's tighter than usual. That's something the kids will never understand. It's not like you took the money and just went out and bought something for yourself. Like you bought a nice Christmas dinner to enjoy as a family. I don't think the right word is a-hole. Am I the a-hole for banning alcohol from Christmas? Depends who you ask. Reddit has defined them as the a-hole. My husband's family likes to drink. Every holiday includes multiple bottles of wine, cocktails. I hate drinking. I have never drank. My father was an alcoholic. I think it's childish if you can't have fun without drinking. This year, I'm hosting Christmas for a change. I decided, since it's at my house, no alcohol allowed. We are all getting older and it's time to grow up. My husband's sister called to ask what she could bring. She saw a recipe for a Christmas martini that she wanted to bring. I told her about my no alcohol rule. She didn't say much, but must have told the rest of the family. Some of them started texting me asking if I was serious and saying that it is lame, but I'm not budging. Now it turns out my husband's sister is hosting an alternate gathering that almost everyone is choosing to go to instead. It's so disrespectful, all because they would have to spend one day sober. My husband told me he talked to his sister and we are invited to her gathering, and he said we should just go and stop causing issues, but I won't. It is so rude. Now my husband is mad because I'm making him stay home and spend Christmas with me, but it was my turn to host and I chose to have a no alcohol that they could have dealt with for 1 year. Man, like I get both sides. If you're the host and it's your home, I think you have every right to say no alcohol. But you can't be totally surprised that they're not going to show up when you know that they are in fact drinkers and they enjoy drinking. Am I the a-hole for grounding my daughter in Christmas? I think that means on Christmas. Reddit thinks they're the a-hole. Let's go. My husband and I have been married for 10 years. We have a 9-year-old daughter together named Maya. I also have a 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship, Nova, and he has a 15-year-old son from a previous relationship, Oliver. Those are cute names. Maya, Nova, and Oliver. Those are so cute. This is about Oliver and Nova. About a month ago, Nova broke Oliver's iPad. She claimed it was an accident, but Oliver believes she did it out of jealousy. The iPad can't be fixed, so we have to buy him a new one. I told Nova she has to buy one for him, and since she doesn't have any money, this is what we're gonna do. She's going to ask for half of the iPad's money from her dad for Christmas. I'll also give her the other half. Then she can buy an iPad for Oliver. She wasn't happy about it and threw a tantrum about not getting any Christmas gifts for herself this year. That would be rough as a kid. I told her actions have consequences, and this is her consequence. Yesterday, I found out not only her dad doesn't have any intention on giving her money for Oliver's iPad, he is buying a new iPad for Christmas for Nova. Apparently, it was her idea because she wants to have an iPad. I asked her what about Oliver, and she just shrugged. I told her in this case, you are grounded for Christmas. This year, she is supposed to be with me for Christmas, and it's court ordered, so her dad can't do anything about it. I told her she won't celebrate with us. She'll get her iPad and she will stay in her room. Her dad is calling me an a-hole and says I'm cruel for doing this punishment. I think she needs this lesson. Damn! I think there needs to be a learning moment here and a lesson. And I liked the idea of, oh, well, you have to buy your brother a new iPad because you broke it. I think that's fair. But then again, sometimes when you're a teenager, sitting in your bedroom with a brand new iPad doesn't really sound like punishment. Am I the a-hole for not wanting coal for Christmas? Is this a trick question? Determined, not the a-hole. Okay. This year, I went to my fiance's house for Christmas. It was my first time going, as we would typically go to my family's house instead. I got a rather pricey gift for my fiance, Dan, related to his hobbies. I got nice gifts for Dan's parents based off of things I talked to them about before, and I got a small pack of chocolate for each of Dan's other relatives. I didn't know them that well. I wasn't expecting many gifts from Dan's relatives because I didn't know any of them very well, but I was certainly expecting more than I got. At first, I was excited when I saw that there was a big pile of gifts for me. However, once I opened the first one, it was just a piece of coal. Everyone laughed, and I just kind of laughed along, thinking it was a gag gift and that the other gifts would be different. But every single one turned out to be coal. All 18 of them. Who has the time to wrap 18 things of coal? I started to get upset, so I cried and lashed out at Dan. But he calmly explained apparently this is a long-standing tradition in his family where they gift coal to newcomers who are celebrating Christmas with them for the first time. He explained that it's just easier that way since all of the relatives who might not know the newcomer well don't have to stress over finding a gift, and it's a fun experience for the newcomer as well. I don't find that fun. I told Dan I couldn't believe I skipped my own family celebration for this, and I left. But now Dan and some of his family are blowing up my phone saying I embarrassed him in front of his relatives and that I made it awkward for everyone. So am I the a-hole? I don't know, maybe I would have liked a warning from Dan that all I would be receiving and opening is a bunch of coal. It's just a very strange tradition. I mean, I would have laughed it off because whatever. But in my family, we actually have a tradition since there's 5 kids total and we bring boyfriends and girlfriends, obviously, as we get older and we meet people, that my parents don't, like our family doesn't give gifts out unless they've been dating for a year. So like the first Christmas, they don't do gifts for like your spouse. And that's just always been a rule in our family, like literally since high school. So after you hit the first year, it's like, you stuck around for a year. Happy to be here. I don't know. That's been like a rule in my family. Is that weird? Maybe it's weird for some people. Am I the a-hole for saying I won't come to Christmas at my in-laws if I can't wear a hat? Everyone sucks. That was the determination. This is a petty little thing, but maybe you guys can help me know if I was in the wrong. We will help you know. For context, I, 25 female, got married in November. My mother-in-law doesn't really like me, even trying to steal the spotlight at my wedding, but is still overly traditional. At Thanksgiving, I was having a really bad hair day, so I wore a black leather cap, a dressier newsboy style one, which my husband said looked great on me. The holiday was hostile, even more so than prior gatherings I'd been to, and my hubby said mother-in-law said it was because I wore a hat. But I know it was just an excuse. I told mother-in-law I wouldn't come to Christmas with them, then blocked her number on Facebook. No, blocked her number and Facebook. Oh, this just seems like super dramatic. My husband is trying to keep us both happy since he doesn't like conflict. He wants me to come to one more celebration to see if maybe people are getting used to me. Used to you? You're married. He told mother-in-law she needs to be nice and treat me as part of the family since I am, and that if I feel unwelcome at Christmas like I did at Thanksgiving, then we will not attend future events, and she will not see much of him anymore. I understand why he wants me to give her one final chance and haven't had any conflict with him. Marriage is about compromise, and I get that, but he doesn't want me to cut her off since she's his mother, but I just don't want to be involved with her unless I have to be. I wanted to see if mother-in-law was listening to him, so I asked my husband to request that I be allowed to wear the same hat to Christmas. Hubby said he thought I'd worn it since I had a bad hair day. But this time, it's a statement that they should not treat me as an outsider, either because I wear hats all the time. Right now, it's just a sports visor, which I'd never wear to a holiday, so it's not like I'm doing that. Or they just don't like me. If they won't let me wear a hat, what else are they going to restrict about me? Let me be who I am or I won't come, period. My husband agreed and relayed this to my mother-in-law, and she's been asking him why he married the devil. He's growing tense with me, and I told him he'll probably have to pick a side sooner rather than later, and that I never intended it that way. He spent last night at a friend's house because he needed to think. Oh my God, this is way too serious. I feel bad because I care about him and no conflict stresses him out. I told him to text me when he was ready to talk, and he hasn't yet. My friends think that the hat request was unnecessary and maybe I strained my relationship with my husband. I think he just needed space to think about conflict because it stresses him out, so I gotta ask. Am I the a-hole for saying I won't come if I don't wear a hat? I don't know if it's a-hole, but you're definitely being petty. Who cares if someone chooses to wear a hat? Honestly, who cares? How does that affect your day and your Christmas and your time with visiting family? Who cares? But I do think you're going extra hard on this hat thing. This person was determined not the a-hole, it seems, but I don't really trust other people's judgment, so I will be the judge. Am I the a-hole for telling my parents that my kids won't attend Christmas if everyone can't attend? Okay, so far you don't sound like the a-hole. My husband was injured when we were in high school, almost 18 years ago now, and he uses a wheelchair now. We have 4 children, his 15-year-old son from a previous relationship, an 8-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old son, and a 1-year-old daughter. My parents usually host a big Christmas every year with all of the kids and their families. Sometimes it's at their home and sometimes it's at a vacation destination. In previous years, it's always been accessible for my husband, but this year they've chosen to have it at a mountain/ski resort that is largely inaccessible and would have a lot of activities that would leave my husband out. So we told them we were going to do our own thing for Christmas this year. No biggie, right? They responded with, how about you send the kids and you can do your own thing? We responded that we wouldn't be sending our kids if we could not all attend. Nobody would attend. They're upset and accusing us of withholding the kids from something that brings them joy and being bad parents. Are we the a-hole? The results are in. You are not the a-hole. First of all, your Christmas, your family, do whatever you want. Second of all, they weren't being very thoughtful in the sense of your husband and his wheelchair and having accessibility to everything. And 3, why would you want to be separated from your own kids at Christmas time to benefit your parents? Like, am I the a-hole for uninviting my oldest daughter to Christmas over Santa? I, 43 female, have children with very large age gaps. My oldest is 25 that I had with my high school ex. Then we separated and I married my husband much later. My younger 2 are 9 and 7. My younger children believe in Santa, while my daughter's son doesn't. She raised him not with the Santa magic, which is perfectly okay. I just rather not have it ruined for my children who do believe in Santa. I was having Christmas at my house and I asked my daughter if she'd please talk to her son because I wouldn't like the magic ruined for them. I still put packages under the tree with "From Santa" on them and leave out cookies and reindeer treats. Bird seeds. My daughter told us she wouldn't make her son lie, and my children are old enough to understand if her son decides to say something. I told her if she wouldn't talk to her son, they could spend Christmas at their apartment. My daughter didn't like that and said I was choosing my younger children's happiness over hers and that I was being completely unreasonable. My husband supports me but thinks I might be being a little too high-strung as our children are getting older. I just want to keep the Christmas magic alive. Am I the a-hole? You might be being a little too high-strung about Santa, and especially if your kids are getting older, but I also understand wanting to keep that Christmas magic. I miss Christmas as a kid because it did feel so magical. It feels way different now. Christmas just ain't the same anymore. However, I don't get why her son just won't freaking go along with it. I would literally be like, yo kid, we're going over to grandma's house for Christmas and her kids believe in Santa. So we got to keep up the magic and we got to upplay it. Okay. So if they say anything, Santa exists. Like, just go along with it for the fun, for the children. Don't ruin it for them. Like, I'm just not getting why that can't be done. Who is the a-hole? That's what I'm left with. Am I the a-hole for canceling Christmas? Reddit has determined you are not the a-hole. So we'll see. Fully expecting to get torn to shreds, but oh well. Oh. Saw a similar post a while back and thought I'd throw my hat in since I am genuinely wondering. Myself and my husband, 40s, female and male, have been hosting Christmas for a few years. There's a lot of mental illness in both sides of our family, so we are all pretty low contact. But we host because none of the other family members have a big enough house for everyone to fit, thanks to the above and poor financial decisions. We don't even have a huge house, but big enough for us and the kids. However, it's still the biggest space available to them. So every year we spend a week while still working full time because neither of us can afford any time off, cleaning the house and getting ready and buying groceries for the Christmas meal. That must be so expensive, by the way. I've never hosted a Christmas, obviously. I live in a different city than my family. But that's gotta be so freaking expensive. I can't. Every year we get no help. My mother used to cook but started refusing during the COVID pandemic because she cooked for 20 plus years for Christmas and has had enough. They brought some small platters once and the in-laws brought turkey, but no one else in the family likes turkey. Yes, we are weird and European. So they just sat there and sulked that they were the only ones eating it. Someone will complain about the food every time, that there's not enough or too much of this and not enough of this, or why we didn't get this and why we have to bring our own drinks this year, and so on and so on. The children only eat mac and cheese or chicken nuggets and refuse to eat or throw a fit if we don't have any. So we have to make those too. I have to entertain the children because everyone else just ignores them. We end up broke with our house trashed and our kids miserable and throwing tantrums because the others are too, and all around it's just not a fun experience. Yeah, this sounds miserable, I'm not gonna lie. So my hubby is over it. He's refusing to host this year. He doesn't even want to go out or visit anyone on the day. He just wants to have a dinner with us and our kids, and I pretty much am in agreement. It's just so much work and such a miserable experience, but the parents are all guilting us and complaining that nobody will help clean their house or cook so they can have it there. I said they can have Christmas wherever they like, but we would like a year off of having to do any work or going anywhere. They're telling me that we are a-holes because Christmas is about family and I shouldn't let other people's negative attitudes get in the way of having a nice time with family. I should ignore the complaints and just suck it up for the sake of the kids, who don't enjoy it anyways, and family time. It's only once a year and I should rise above my own resentments. So I ask, am I the a-hole for not wanting to do that this year? Reddit. Results are in. This is easy and quick. The results just fax right over to me. You are not the a-hole. Hell no. Protect your peace. Protect your peace, your energy, your own mental health, your home. However the hell you want to spend Christmas, spend it. All right, guys. Let me know your results down below for who is the a-hole, who is not the a-hole. Okay. In the meantime, it's the holiday season. Okay. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.